my spoiled wife threw a dinner party and forgot to give me a seat. As I laughed, we forget about boring people. 2 told them, no problem, have fun. Pulled the plug and turned off the whole house, lost power, and she was left calling me over and over from Abad dark party. I've always been the peaceful one, steady one, the one woha fixes the debt and remembers to pay it, putting trash down on a Sunday night person who keeps quiet while I talk wife. Pamela tells about all the drama I thought that was from her group of friends. Our relationship, she was the base of the beautiful dressed up house. It turns out I wasn't was the doormat she wiped down for the foundation her feet on it before guests arrivated. Pamela over last Friday night, her dinner party number 2 and these were not get-togethers for our friends. No, these were tryouts. She was always trying to make this group of people, like me, more of what you want with more money and links of everything that Nicole sounding people don't. Brandon. I often made a quick showed up with a beer in the corner and then disappeared into my study. It was a fee I had to pay to live a quiet life. Ori thought this time was different. I had a terrible week at work, Anto, be honest. I was looking forward to a good meal, even if it meant hearing another talk about crypto oat milk drinks. I went into the tit, was busy in the dining room with 6 people. Everyone laughed as Pamela gushed over them. The table was beautiful. A true work of art. Shiny silverware and cloth napkins, AA flower design that most likely cost more than our weekly food. But something was wrong, so I made a list of the places Avanta 6 people plus Pamela are set up. That's 7. I looked around. Maybe there was a side table in the kitchen. I was in a place with nothing but empty space. It was Pamela who saw me and gave me this smile as tight and white. And it's the smile she wears just before she says something she finds smart and terrible. Oh Justin, she told him, voice loud enough to be heard, shoot. I forgot all about that. They said. Nicole, her friend, who looked at she treated me like I was stuff. Wanted to change and laugh a little at a titter. I kept my face straight. Indifferent, forgot what smiled at Pep. She waved her hand at Thefel table to make room for you, Silam. And then she turned to her listeners, real people who laughed. It was AI. Guess we just forget about the show. The boring people made a lot of people laugh. Went around the table, but no one really laughed. Just little sounds of thanks, the sounds people make when they know their Effie should find the mean joke funny, and at that time, something inside MIT wasn't broken or cracked. It sounded like a big tumbler coming down. Putting it in a bank safe. This wasn't Amistock. It was a public message. I told them I wasn't a part of their life. I was just the guy she was building. I bought the paint and paper and was supposed to go away when Thea work of art was on show. And I looked right at her smug face, just there waiting for me to get upset, to fight so she could make a I didn't give her anything after the story. No, I replied with a small calm smile. I said, no problem. And my voice was great. I turned around and said, you all have fun. I left the dining room and could feel their eyes on my back. You could hear the quiet. I didn't go to my study though. I walked instead, going down the hall and into the garage house where we lived and paid the most for. The mortgage had a big power box. I put it up on the wall myself. I marked every button I turned on the cool metal door, main power, kitchen, living room, dining room, master bedroom, and my hand was steady. I turned on every switch toe, turn it off, click, click, click. I left one on, just one for the click fridge in the shed and the extra onium, not a monster. And I wasn't going to let you see that. A lot of food worth hundreds of dollars goes bad. It was about a message, not damage from that. I heard a scream and then a chorus of people who were confused and scared as the whole house fell into absolute getting lost in the darkness. I didn't wait. I got in my car and drove to Act 2. Pulled out of the driveway and drove with the garage door closed behind me. My phone rang as I walked down our quiet street. Pam. I let it ring and it lit up again. I kept finding a room about 20 minutes away, checked in, and linked to their Wi-Fi and the texts that came in. What the hell did you do? And Justin, the power went out. Is this a joke? Please turn it back on now. My guest's article spilled red wine all over the place because she was so scared over her white dress. Justin, I mean it, tore acting like a child. Messed up everything. Are you still there? Just pick up the phone. Justin, we'll talk about it after you fix it. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Sacked all of them, and I felt there was nothing but a strange, cold clarity that didn't the last word say it all. She used apologizing to get what she wanted. Would you like me to put my phone on silent? I placed my order for a burger on the table. Room service turned on the TV, for my house was clean for the first time in years. It was dark and crazy where I was. I slept. It was quiet and peaceful. For 8 hours straight, the kind of sleep when I woke up, I thought I'd never get it again. 2. A graveyard of notifications on my phone, 37 calls missed from Pamela, a book's worth of texts going over every step of manipulation. Anger was brought up. I was worried about you. Are you okay? You were hurt and came back right away. I didn't answer because I was so angry. The plan for Pamela. Knew it by heart. After on nights like that, she'd stay in bed late and drag herself to a hot yoga class at 10 a.m. and then have a long breakfast, full of talk. With her friends to talk about how crazy thing her husband did that she knew he would wasn't strong enough at 10:15 a.m. I checked out and drove home, just like I thought. The front door was empty. Opened, she must have left an 8. Inside was a disaster zone bottle of wine. There are broken glasses on the ground, plates of cold, pricey risotto going hard on the table all over there. Was the smell of old wine and Pamelacet, was the wreckage of clawing cologne. I didn't clean up after her beautiful party. Had to go straight to my study. I packed up my laptop and hard drives. All of my paperwork. Then the safe in. She could never remember what was in our room. Code. I opened it, and inside was I have backup cash and important papers with me. I gave them my passport and birth certificate, and just half of the money. Not a penny. I gave her more things and money. Not touched at all. This wasn't a theft. This was that. I did something small. Own that Pamela had this ridiculous very pricey Italian espresso machine. It was her child who was the star. Off her Instagram was a sign of she loved that she could live in style. Thing more than me. I shut off carefully. It curled the cord around itself and took it away to my car like I was setting a hostage free. I picked up the $30 bag of gourmet coffee beans too. The shed was my last stop. Went to the box of breakers and turned them on. I told her to turn all the switches back on. Go back to a house that has electricity. I wanted her to see that with lights important parts were missing. Like me Anthe, machine that gave her energy in the U could say that the service company Hattie was retired and in and out in less than 30 minutes. Minutes to get everything to a storage unit. I rented a room online and found a new one. Long-term hotel. And this time I paid with my own credit card, not around 1 p.m. They learned one lesson together. When the call came, I knew it was time to answer. Justin, where are you? The power is on. Have you come back here? She asked, was wary for a while. I said calmly I had to take a break to do some things. I could hear her quick steps on the hardwood over the phone. With your things. What? Are you talking about all your